Hi, this is Dan. Today I will be going over processing proxy votes in myHOAst. For processing proxy votes, there are 6 simple steps, so let's go through them. The first step is to enter the votes when available. This is covered with feature 110 in the user's guide. I say enter them when available because these are not secret votes. They do not have to be. You do not have to wait until the election night. These are proxy votes. These are non-secret. So when you receive them, either by mail or by person, you may open them and you may look at them and you may enter them into the system. Number 2 is to close the voting time. This assumes that you're at the meeting now. Check out feature 115. And as soon as you close the voting time, you can enter the remaining votes. Again, feature 110. And number 4 is you can see the results, feature 113. Now, seeing the results is something you can do all along. This is not a secret election. You are allowed to see the progression of the election or as the vote as it goes, so you can see the results. Then number 5, create the permanent report, feature 117. In the owner's meetings area, things can continue to change. For example, after your meeting, after you've entered the proxy votes, let's say you delete or remove somebody's voting privilege. That shows up and changes the computed quorum for that meeting. So if you create the permanent report, then the report will not get changed no matter what properties are bought or sold, or no matter what happens with voting privilege. So it's a good idea when you're done to create the permanent report so that it's static and unchangeable. And lastly is don't forget to remove the opt-in and opt-out dates. This is feature 86. The opt-in and opt-out dates are set based upon your board resolution, and they're set for any meeting that requires a quorum. Okay, so let's check these out now in myHOAst. I'm going to go to myHOAst and log on as an admin user. And again, the meeting is CM Owners Meeting, and that's where you're going to find the votes for the meeting. So here's my meeting, Proxy Vote Tutorial. If I click on this line, I get the pull-down menu, and I'm going to choose Voting. By the way, you'll see here that the meeting line here tells you your current quorum that you've reached. If you have not yet entered any paper proxy votes received, then this indicates this has gone to 7.5% with the electronic votes that have been submitted. So going to voting, to enter the votes when available, step number 1, I go to record meeting votes. So if I had a vote for, say, Unit 1, I would say I have a vote. I look at it and I say, okay, they said yes, and I say save. Now that vote submitted by Unit 1 has been input, and I'm done with that. Being a proxy vote, any vote can be asked. You can ask for it back. You can re-vote. That's allowed for a proxy vote. Is not allowed for a secret vote. So when Unit 1 wants this vote back, whether it was sent in by paper or electronically transmitted, we can merely click this box. It's going to make sure that we realize we're getting rid of that vote, and yes, we are. And then the voter for Unit 1 hands me a new proxy vote, and now this time he has said no, and I save it. Now, one feature here regarding the entering votes is you can also use the search function. If I want to search for Unit 13, very quickly I get it. I see that he's already voted. And I search for, say, 18, and I can put in that vote. And the great thing about this search is that if you have a voter in front of you, and they don't know what unit number, or you're using lot numbers, you can merely type in their name, and where they can vote will show up here. And you can verify that by clicking on the address. And yep, is your name Richard Nixon? Yes, indeed. Okay, then this is where I put your vote. Now, step 2, by the way, we just see you can see things as they're going. So I can do the report right now, and I can see I have 5 yeses and 1 no at this point. Election is not closed yet. So I'm going to go back and go back again. Go back again. Now I'm back to the owners' meetings. Now, number 2 says to close the voting time. And again, that's going to be in voting. And by checking this box off, voting time is going to be closed. And closing the voting time is something that's going to be captured in the audit trail. So I will say confirm. And now voting time has been closed. This means that no more electronic votes can be submitted. I can still enter paper votes because I'm going to close the meeting time prior to completing entering paper. So the meeting is closed. And now number 3 was entering the remaining votes. So I go over here to record meeting votes, and I've got a couple left over here. Let's say I've got Unit 2, and I've got Unit 3. Now, here's a bonus for you. If you're very interested in making sure that you know your quorum, you need to understand that that is based upon electronic votes sent in and paper votes entered. But that doesn't give you your complete quorum, because a person can be present, that can be in the audience, and they have not submitted an electronic vote, and they have not submitted a paper vote. So in that case, we're missing the exact quorum. So what I suggest is you have this screen open, and as people walk in, you use this to check them in. Somebody comes in and they say they're from Unit 13. I go 13. I say, thank you very much for coming. I've already got their vote. And then somebody else comes in, or in 14. I say, thank you very much for coming. I got their votes. Then somebody comes in from Unit 30, and I do this, and I see it's not recorded. Well, then this will miss the quorum computation. So I'm going to check them in by clicking this and hitting save. So in fact, I have accepted a blank proxy vote. And at this point, I'm going to hand them a vote. If they come back with that vote, I've already showed you how you can click that box and take this vote away and put in their real vote. But by putting a blank vote in there, I have them captured for the quorum. Same with, say, 40. And there's no vote. I'm going to hand them a proxy vote. I'm going to click this and save it as a blank. In a few minutes, you're going to see how this will appear. Okay, in fact, now is a good time for that. I've entered the remaining votes, so I'm in step 4, see the results. Now, again, I'm assuming that Unit 30 and Unit 40 did not come back and give me a replacement proxy vote. But doing this, I have them as part of the quorum. So when I do view report, I'm going to have down here, there's 3 votes that are blank, or the owner is present without a vote. So this does not disrupt the vote as far as what wins and what does not win, but it does make these people who do not vote, who are in attendance, count as part of the quorum. Now, step 5, by the way, we hit a 25% quorum here. Step 5 is create a permanent report. And again, I'm going to go back, and one more time back. I'm getting to the meeting line. And here, I can do a create report. Now, this is something you should do when you're finished with everything. Create report, because the report, as I said, is static. This area is not static. I've got 25% quorum. If I take away an address's voting privilege, this quorum is going to jump up a little bit, because we'll have less addresses as being able to vote. So again, this area is not static. Create reports, and now that report goes into reports meetings area, and this now is static. So again, it's very important to do. That was step number 5. Step 6, the last step in this tutorial, is you've got to get rid of the opt-in, opt-out dates. We set them up for this meeting, and that would have been looking like this. And when the meeting is over, you want to unclick that box, hit the update, and now those opt-in, opt-out dates no longer apply. You wait until your next meeting that requires a quorum, and you set these up based upon your board resolution. And that's it.